Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most weird science experiments throughout history. These bizarre experiments range from the curious to the downright strange, but each one has contributed something unique to our understanding of science. If you love weird science facts, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more mind-blowing discoveries. Let's get started. First up, let's travel back to the 18th century and explore Luigi Galvani's famous frog experiments. Galvani was an Italian scientist who discovered something incredible while dissecting frogs. He noticed that their legs twitched when touched by metal probes. This led him to the groundbreaking discovery of bioelectricity, the electrical phenomena within living organisms. He called this animal electricity, and it laid the foundation for the field of electrophysiology. Galvani's experiments were not only weird but also crucial for the development of modern neuroscience. Next, we have one of the most controversial experiments of the 20th century, the Stanford Prison Experiment conducted by psychologist Philip Zimbardo in 1971. Zimbardo wanted to study the psychological effects of perceived power, focusing on the struggle between prisoners and prison officers. He created a mock prison and randomly assigned volunteers to be either guards or prisoners. The results were shocking. The participants quickly adapted to their roles, with guards exhibiting authoritarian behaviors and prisoners becoming passive and depressed. The experiment had to be terminated after only 6 days due to the extreme reactions. This weird science experiment highlighted the powerful influence of situational factors on human behavior and remains a key study in social psychology. Moving on, let's talk about a truly bizarre experiment involving animal communication. In the 1960s, NASA funded a project to teach dolphins to speak English. Yes, you heard that right. The experiment was led by neuroscientist John C. Lilly and his assistant Margaret Howe. They lived with a dolphin named Peter in a specially designed house where Peter could interact with humans. The goal was to teach Peter to mimic human speech patterns. While Peter did learn to make some human-like sounds, the experiment faced numerous ethical and practical challenges and was eventually abandoned. Despite its weirdness, this experiment raised important questions about animal intelligence and interspecies communication. Now, let's dive into an experiment that took weird to a whole new level. Project MK-Ultra. This was a secret CIA program initiated in the 1950s aimed at developing mind control techniques. The experiments involved administering drugs like LSD as well as hypnosis and sensory deprivation to unwitting subjects. The goal was to explore methods of controlling human behavior for espionage purposes. The project was officially halted in the 1970s, but it left behind a legacy of controversy and conspiracy theories. Project MK-Ultra is a chilling example of how weird science can sometimes cross ethical boundaries in pursuit of knowledge. Speaking of ethics, another peculiar experiment was conducted by psychologist Harlow in the 1950s and 60s. Harlow was interested in the nature of love and affection, so he devised experiments using rhesus monkeys to study maternal attachment. He separated baby monkeys from their mothers and provided them with surrogate mothers made of wire and cloth. Harlow found that the monkeys preferred the cloth surrogates, which provided comfort, over the wire ones that provided food. This weird and somewhat cruel experiment demonstrated the importance of emotional bonds in development, influencing our understanding of child psychology and attachment theory. Let's not forget the bizarre experiment conducted by Ivan Pavlov, the Russian physiologist famous for his work on classical conditioning. Pavlov's experiments with dogs in the early 20th century involved measuring their salivary responses to food stimuli. He discovered that the dogs would start salivating not just at the sight of food, but also at the sight of the lab assistant who fed them, or even hearing a bell associated with feeding time. This weird science experiment laid the groundwork for behaviorism and significantly advanced our understanding of associative learning. In a more recent and equally weird experiment, we have the Large Hadron Collider, LHC experiments conducted by CERN. The LHC is the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, designed to smash particles together at near-light speeds to study fundamental physics. One of its most famous achievements was the discovery of the Higgs boson in 2012, a particle that gives other particles mass. While the LHC experiments are not weird in the sense of being unethical or bizarre, the sheer scale and ambition of smashing particles to unlock the secrets of the universe is awe-inspiring and mind-boggling. Lastly, let's talk about the experiment that attempted to weigh the human soul. In the early 20th century, Dr. Duncan MacDougall hypothesized that the soul had mass and could be measured. He placed dying patients on a specially designed scale to measure their weight before and after death. MacDougall reported a small but measurable loss of weight, which he attributed to the departing soul. While his methods and conclusions were widely criticized and remain unproven, this weird experiment highlights humanity's enduring curiosity about the nature of life and consciousness. If you enjoyed learning about these bizarre experiments, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing content. Do you have a favorite weird science experiment? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.